The room was silent. Not the kind of silence that feels calm, but the kind that feels like everything is about to break. Elena sat in the courtroom holding Jayden's hand tightly. Marcus stood across the room, and between them was a truth no one fully understood yet. The judge opened the file. Inside was the DNA report. The entire courtroom leaned in. No one breathed. Marcus closed his eyes. Elena's hand trembled, and Jayden just looked confused watching both adults he trusted the most. The judge began to read, and then stopped for a moment, looking at the paper again as if confirming what she already saw. Then she spoke. Based on the DNA results, Marcus King is confirmed to be the biological father of Jayden. A wave of sound moved through the courtroom. Gasps, whispers, shock. Elena felt like the ground disappeared beneath her. No, she whispered, but it was real. Marcus didn't celebrate. He didn't smile. He just lowered his head as if the truth hurt him too, because finding his son was not the same as winning him. The judge looked around the room. This court must now decide custody. Reporters outside were already broadcasting live. Social media was exploding. Everyone had an opinion, but none of them were in that room. None of them were Elena. None of them were Marcus. And none of them were Jayden. The judge turned gently. Jayden, do you understand what is happening? The small boy nodded slowly, but his eyes were filled with fear. Because for the first time in his life, he felt like something he loved could be taken away. Who do you want to live with? The judge asked softly. Jayden looked at Elena first, the woman who raised him, who stayed up when he was sick, who never gave up on him. Then he looked at Marcus, a man he had just learned was his father, a man who looked at him like he had been searching for him his entire life. Tears filled Jayden's eyes, his voice shook. I don't want to choose. The courtroom went still. The judge leaned forward. Why not? Jayden wiped his face and spoke with a cracked voice. Because she's my mom. He pointed at Elena. She raised me. She never left me. She is my home. Elena covered her mouth, crying silently. Then Jayden turned toward Marcus. And he's my dad. Marcus's breath caught. His hands shook. Jayden continued. I always wondered why I didn't have a father. I used to think something was wrong with me. His voice broke. But now I know. I just didn't know the truth. He paused and looked down. I don't want to lose either of you. No one spoke, not the lawyers, not the judge, not the reporters. Nothing. Then Marcus stepped forward slightly. His voice was low. I'm not here to take him away. He looked at Elena. I just want to know my son. Elena's eyes were full of tears. I've been his mother for 10 years. Her voice cracked. I was there when no one else was. The judge raised her hand. Enough. She looked at all three of them, and then made a decision that changed everything. This case is not about replacing a parent. It is about recognizing one. She paused, and preserving another. The courtroom stayed silent, then she said it clearly. Joint custody will be granted. A wave of disbelief moved through the room. Elena closed her eyes. Marcus exhaled deeply, and Jayden looked confused at first, then slowly relieved. The judge continued. Jayden will not lose a mother, and he will not lose a father, but he will gain the truth. The pain had not disappeared, but it had changed. It had softened. Marcus didn't try to replace Elena, and Elena didn't shut him out. They learned something neither expected. They didn't have to fight. They just had to share love. Jayden spent weekends with Marcus, weekdays with Elena, and slowly his world stopped feeling like it was breaking apart. One evening, the three of them stood together outside Elena's home. The sun was setting, quiet, warm, peaceful. Jayden held both their hands, one on each side. I used to think I was abandoned, he said softly. I wasn't. He looked up at both of them. I was just found twice. Elena cried again. Marcus turned away, wiping his eyes. And for the first time, no one felt like they had lost. Because sometimes, family is not about who arrives first or who stayed the longest. It is about who refuses to let go. And in that moment, a broken beginning finally became a healed ending.
If this story moved you, stop for a second and reflect. How different would your life be if someone hadn't chosen to love you? Because sometimes the greatest gift we can give another person is simply not giving up on them. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and follow for more inspiring stories. Red Heart.